Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if you are new here. As you guys can see by the title of this video, this is going to be my annual Rotary Club book sale haul. So my husband Phil and I actually went out to this book sale this morning as I'm filming this video. So I'm filming this video in July. This book sale that we go to is an annual book sale that is run over 3 days up here in Auckland. It's normally at a college hall. I believe that all of the money raised goes to charity. They just have a whole bunch of books, from like fiction books to non-fiction books, adult, YA, all your different like subsections within non-fiction. They also have like a special table in a separate building on this same property. They have in one of the other rooms like a kids section, so they have heaps and heaps of kids books. And Phil and I have been for the last 2 years. Today was actually day 2 of the book sale. I thought it was day 1, but I got my dates wrong because time is just going so fast. So it's day 2 today. We managed to find a whole shopping bag full of books. So I'm just going to show you guys in here the books that I have kind of found for myself. We also found some kids books which I will show you guys as well, but my husband did get a couple of books as well. I think next year I want to go on day 1 because I imagine that there would be so many good books on day 1 as well. But even still today, like, there were so many books, some books that I've recently purchased off Marketplace as well, and definitely a mixture of like older books and books that were popular on Booktok. So I'm really excited for all of the books that I do have. So all of the fiction books were $4 each, or they would have a deal where you would do 3 for $10. So that is what we did. We did a 3 for $10 deal, and then all of the kids books were $1, and then they have like some kids books that they'll do like a bundle for like a certain amount. But all of the kids books that we got were $1 each, so very affordable. After that very long introduction, let's jump into the books that I got. Okay, so we'll start off with fiction books. So the first book that I want to share is actually the first book that I found. This one is A Man Called Ove by Frederick Buckman. This one here I've heard Rachel Catherine talk about and a couple of the other booktubers talk about, and I really wanted to give it a go. I think it's general fiction, but I could be wrong. Ove is almost certainly the grumpiest man you will ever meet. He thinks himself surrounded by idiots, joggers, neighbours who can't reverse a trailer properly, and shop assistants who talk in code. But isn't it rare these days to find such old-fashioned clarity of belief and deed, such unswerving conviction about what the world should be, and a lifelong dedication to making it just so? In the end, you will see there is something about Ove that is quite irresistible. I wanted to give it a go and see what I thought, but I was really happy to find this book, and I love the cover. I think it's just quite nice and simplistic. The next book that I picked up, my husband actually found because I had completely skimmed over it and didn't realize that I'd missed it, but I really wanted to find this book, and that is this one here. So this one is All the Light We Cannot See by Anthony Doerr. This one has won awards. It just says, open your eyes and see what you can with them before they close forever. For Marie Laurie, blind since the age of 6, the world is full of mazes. The miniature of a Paris neighborhood made by her father to teach her the way home. The microscopic layers within the invaluable diamond that her father guards in the Museum of Natural History. Walled cities by the sea where father and daughter take refuge when the Nazis invade Paris. And a future which draws her ever closer to Werner, a German orphan destined to labor in the mines until a broken radio fills his life with possibility and brings him to the notice of the Hitler Youth. In this magnificent, deeply moving novel, the stories of Marie, Laure, and Werner illuminate the ways against all odds people try to be good to one another. I just know that this has been really popular at the moment, and I just wanted to give it a go and see what I thought. I think this one might be like a historical fiction, but yeah, something a little bit different for me, but I hope that I like it because it's had a lot of hype. And I know that there is a TV show of this. I haven't started watching it yet because I want to read the book first, but my husband is currently watching the show. The next book that I found, again, was on my list to get, and that is The Vanishing Half by Brit Bennett. This one here, again, is a really popular OG Booktok book that I have not read, but I've saved quite a lot of these on Marketplace, so I'm really happy that I found it in there. So this one says, you can escape a town, but you cannot escape blood. Stella and Desiree are identical twins growing up together in a small southern black community. until at age 16 they run away. Years later, everything about their lives is different. Their families, communities, and racial identities. One sister lives with her black daughter in the same southern town she once tried to escape. The other sister secretly passes as white, and her husband knows nothing of her past. Still separated by many miles and just as many lies, the fate of the twins remain intertwined. What will happen in the next generation when their own daughter's storylines intersect? Just sounds very interesting. Again, seems more like general fiction or even historical fiction, and I imagine that this will touch on a lot of very important issues, so I'm excited for this one. The next two I'm going to do are part of a series. So I managed to find these two books in the Gone series. So we have Lies and we have Light. So Lies is book 3 and Light seems to be book 6. I think there's like 8 books altogether in the series, but I have books 1, 2, and 4. So now I have 3 and 6. So now I just need Fear, which is in the middle of this one, and Plague, which I think I bought in my last thrift haul. But I've just been slowly but surely trying to collect the entire series. So this one is I think it's YA dystopian series where on this random day a whole bunch of adults disappear and no one is left that is over the age of 15, and the kids are just trying to figure out where they've gone. So very intriguing premise. They had quite a lot of these books there, but these were the only 2 that I needed for my set that they had. The rest that they had were like books 1, 2, 3, and 4. So yeah, I'm happy to have both of these. I've been looking at this one for quite a while and trying to find it in the op shops and just hadn't had any luck. The next book that I picked up was totally a spur of the moment one, but I watched this movie a really long time ago and really enjoyed it, and that is this one here. So this one is The Giver by Lois Lowry. This one has won awards as well. This one again is kind of like a dystopian book. Intelligence, integrity, courage, wisdom. These are the qualities a receiver of memory must have, and one more which can only be named but not described: the capacity to see beyond. Jonas lives safely within the community, a place where there is no war, no hunger, and no pain. But when he is selected as the receiver of memory, he starts to discover dark secrets that lie beneath the surface of his perfect world. Secrets that will lead him to undertake an incredible journey. My sister has read this book, Shelby, and she really enjoyed it, so I'm really intrigued to read it. It's also a standalone from what I believe, which is great. It also seems super duper short. It's got little like discussion questions about the author at the end. Yeah, super short, 224 pages, so I imagine this will be a quick one, but again, a very, very interesting concept. It's kind of like living in a world where like everything goes right and history is erased. And then the last fiction book that I picked up again was very like spur of the moment. I haven't heard anyone talk about this book. I purely picked it up because the cover was really cute, and that is this one here. So this one is The Italian Marriage by Jenna Lo Bianco. Like, look how stinking cute this cover is. Absolutely stunning. This one seems like a romance book with a fake dating trope, so very intriguing. The heir to the Diamo family trust must be the youngest legal-aged married male. The time has come. In order to secure the future of his family estate and fix his broken relationship with his father, workaholic lawyer Matthew Diadamo needs a wife. Enter Sarah Brown, a free-spirited event manager who is looking for an escape from the emotional and physical toll of her endometriosis and the incessant buzzer of her biological clock. With an ironclad prenuptial agreement, Matthew and his wife, Sarah, are moving to Florence to fulfill the Diadamo inheritance clause. There are just 2 problems. They've never met, and there's another claimant on the Diadamo estate. Matthew and the other potential heir will have to compete for the inheritance. Faking it from their first meeting at Sydney Airport, Matthew and Sarah's resolve will be tested at every turn. Will they have what it takes? And who said anything about love? Very, very intriguing. I hope that I like it. Again, this is kind of short as well. It's like 357 pages. Alright, so that is all for the books that I picked up for myself. And then we just have a bunch of kids books that I picked up. This was also me being very restrained. I do have a lot of kids books in storage. For those of you who are new here, my husband and I do want children very, very soon. So we've started like buying like clothes and books and like some toys and things and putting them away. We haven't bought any of the like big things yet, but we will do that when we're pregnant. I saw all of these books here and I just could not leave them behind. Again, I probably would have spent more time in the kids section if we didn't have to come home because my husband had to get ready for work. Yeah, I'm really happy with all of these kids books. Only $1. So the first one we have is this one here. This one is Winnie the Pooh and His Friends. It's the nighttime mystery one, and I'd originally saw this and put it back, but then I just kept thinking about it, and then I thought that it had sold, like someone had picked it up, and I was like rummaging through, and then I found it, looked through it again, and then I gave it to Phil and I'm like, what do you think? And then he was like, yeah, I think we should get it. So very cute, and the graphics in it are just like absolutely stunning, so I couldn't leave this behind. Sticking with Winnie the Pooh, we also got this one here. So this one is Eeyore and the Balloon Tree. I had a whole bunch of these like Pooh Bear books as a kid, but we've got the Rue's birthday party in storage. I think it's Rue, and that was my favorite one as a kid, but I also did enjoy this one, so I thought we would get this and add it into our collection. The next book we found was one that was super duper cool, and I looked at it and I was like, oh my gosh, Phil, we need this. But this is Car Pie in the City of Sails. So if you guys aren't from New Zealand and you're not familiar, Auckland is considered the city of sails here in New Zealand because there are so many boats. Ka pai is I think it's a Māori phrase for saying like good job kind of thing. Now this was a whole series. We also saw one that was like Ka pai goes to the capital, which was like Wellington. We decided just to get this one here because my sister has moved out of Wellington. None of our family now lives in Wellington, so we were like, oh, we'll just get the Auckland one. But I just thought this would be so funny for like our kids to read and learn about. So you've got like the Auckland Sky Tower, you've got like the little thing that you can see in the Sky Tower when you look down with like all of the boats in the port. You've got them like sailing under the harbour bridge, and then you've also got them like going over the harbour bridge, and I just thought this was so incredibly cute, and I was like, oh my gosh, like we absolutely need this. And I think if I can find more in the set in like the hardcover form, because the other one was like a soft cover book, then I think I'll probably get them as well. But yeah, how cute. I'd never seen them before. They're by Uncle Anzac if you want to look it up and try and find them online if you're here in New Zealand. Okay, hopefully I'm in kind of the same position. My battery just died. My husband and I live in Auckland in New Zealand, so we just thought this would be like quite a fun one for our kids to read. Next up, I got 3 of these books here. Now these books here are like quite difficult to find, and they were like ones that I read as a kid and absolutely loved. I saw some of these when we went to the retro toy fair, which I showed you guys the things that I got from that in my previous thrift haul, but I didn't, and I've kind of just been looking out for them in the op shops and things, but they're really hard to come across. I saw them in the kids section and I was like, oh my gosh, we absolutely need to get them. I've got All By Myself. So these ones are the like Little Critter. Loved this. It just talks about like being independent and like teaching your kids how to do things for themselves. I also got Just Me and My Puppy, and then I also got When I Grow Up, which is a little bit of a smaller one, but this one here just talks about like all the things that kids can do when they grow up and not being limited to one thing. And definitely like now as I'm getting older and as the world is changing into a crazy place, I'm definitely trying to be more careful and more mindful with what I'm letting my future kids read. So yeah, I just thought these would be a good one to get them to like learn stuff. But like there's all of these, which there's heaps of them, so I think if I can find more I will get more and add it to my set. The next one that I found is this one here. So this one is Peepo. This one here I had as a kid, so I just thought it was a nice nod back to like when I was a kid. But it's just like this baby and like looking at all the things that this baby sees, and then it's got like Peepo and then this little like cutout bit. The next one that I got is this one here. So this one is Spot's Fun Year by Eric Hill. So this one has 2 stories in here. You have Spot Goes to School and Spot Goes on Holiday. So you've got like the like lift the flaps with being in school, and you've also got the lift the flaps with Spot like being on holiday. It's only missing one flap, but overall it's like in pretty good nick, no scribbles or anything. It's also like not heaps of words. I also really love Spot. I grew up with Spot as well, and I just really wanted to have some Spot books in my collection, and this one again is also like a hardcover book. The next kids book here was actually the like first kids book that started me wanting to get kids books, and that is this one here. So this one is Ha Ha Maisie by Lucy Cousins. Again, I grew up with Maisie, so this was just such a nod back to childhood. Again, it's a cardboard book, very simple and not a lot of words, but it's just like what makes Maisie laugh, and then like what makes Maisie's friends laugh, and just felt like a really good like feel good book. Good messages about being happy and things like that. And Maisie is like really hard to find in the op shops. The next book that I got, I didn't have as a kid, but I watched this as a kid and I flicked through it and I was like, oh my gosh, I need to get this. But it is a bananas and pajamas book. It is The Dinner Party, but obviously you have like the bananas and pajamas, and then it has like the 3 bears and things in it. Like, I grew up with bananas and pajamas, so I just thought it would be a nice nod back to my childhood, and hopefully I can find some more in this little series. But yeah, I just thought it was super duper cute and I just could not leave it behind. And then the last kids book that I got, and the last book that I have for this haul, again is another one that I had as a kid and I really liked, and that is The Best Loved Bear. So if you guys grew up in the like late 90s or the early 2000s, you will remember this book. But it's just like this boy who really loves this teddy bear, and he does everything to like keep it, and then he like puts it into this like toy fair or teddy bear fair or something, and it kind of just shows that like even if you're like beat up and broken and stuff, that you still mean something to somebody. And I really like that message. I just thought this was a cute book, and yeah, just absolutely needed it. Again, I had it as a kid, so I wanted my children to have it as well. And I'm very much like gonna be one of those mums, I think, where like I would rather my kids either be playing with toys or reading or like being creative and stuff with their hands over being on a screen, just because that's the way that I grew up, it's the way my husband grew up, and so we want to give our kids a very similar childhood to us basically. But there we go guys, those are all of the books that I picked up this morning at the Rotary book club sale. I really hope you guys enjoyed seeing all of the books that I have picked up. If you did, please make sure to give this video a big thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you have not already. Please make sure to turn on the notifications and check out my social media. It's always linked down below in the description box. I will create a playlist of all of my Rotary Club book sale hauls down below, so if you guys want to watch more then you can, and I'll pop one in the iCard for you as well. I also have a playlist on my channel called Reading, which has like more book related videos and things like that, so I'll leave that down below. And I will also leave down below my Lions book sale hauls playlist as well, from the book sales and things that I was doing in Hawke's Bay, because I feel like the equivalent of the Lions book sale in Hawke's Bay is what the Rotary Club is in Auckland. So I'm really happy that I've managed to find an equivalent, because that was one of the things that I was really sad about leaving Hawke's Bay, was because my family had been going to this book sale literally since I was like 12. I'm really happy that I've now found the equivalent, and I cannot wait to bring my kids along to it one day and get them to have a rummage around and things like that. And yeah, it's just great. I think that is everything that I have for this video, so I will see you guys in my next one. Bye!